Hello, it's 9:49 p.m. Well, I'm feeling a little now, a different issue, feeling disappointed. So, that man, Mark Horvath, that he advocates for homeless people and was formerly homeless himself. So, um, today I entered his live stream, the one from Invisible People. And I entered his live stream today. And I was hoping that I could g- grab his attention about targeted, how targeted individuals are forced into homelessness and stuff like that. So I noticed that he was read like comments near mine and mention them, but y'all know how it is about how people who aren't targeted, they don't give us TIs the time of the day. So I was wondering if he was deliberately skipping over and ignoring my comments because he would read out loud the comments near mine, you know. And so, because I remember in 2020, I mentioned on Twitter, when I had that other account, I mentioned on Twitter about why he seems like he's ignoring, you know, the talk about. I mean, if people try to bring, I don't know if other people did, but I know I did try to bring awareness to how targeted individuals, one of the gang stalking tactics is to force us into homelessness. So, I mean, I understand he's one person and he's busy and, dealing with a lot. But I mean, I felt like, well, it was a coincidence that he, throughout the live stream chat today, he read so many posts near mine. But I'm like, I know he sees this because it's like, but it seems like he's one of those type of people who he basically doesn't really respond to, I mean, general stuff or some normal stuff, but he'll be quick to get defensive when people make accusations at him. He'll respond to those but ignore everything else. So I was wondering why it seemed like he was reading so many comments very close to mine, but you know he was reading comments very close to mine, but skipped over and ignored mine. And I was wondering because he wants to, advocate and fight for homeless people, but I was wondering if he ignored me on purpose because if he thought that, or if he felt like he didn't want to get into it, if he felt like the gang stalking talk, if he might have just ignored it because he must have felt like that was a quote unquote conspiracy theory that he didn't want to discuss or something like that. So when I mentioned on Twitter tonight about how basically how he basically I said that it seemed like he was intentionally ignoring my posts and stuff. I felt bothered by that. And so he responded to me on Twitter and said that tweet was uncalled for and unwarranted. And he said, "Well, I he said the comments were going so fast and this and that or whatever, and they had a lot of people in the chat, and the comments were going so fast, and this comment and this tweet was unwarranted." And he said, he said, "I've talked with you before, and he said you've mentioned several times about targeted individuals." He sounded like he was like annoyed and frustrated, but in no way was I trying to troll him or bother him or anything like that. You know, it's like, but it's like I'm just trying to get the word out there that, you know, this is a real government conspiracy here to single out and marginalize and target innocent people and force them into homelessness. Now, what if he would have done like with the usual interviews that he does? What if one of those people he interviewed would have told him, you know, about, you know, themselves being targeted? So I really want to know what his input or his viewpoint or opinion was. I emailed them twice, more like once recently, within the past week or two, and another time it was once, maybe a couple of years, last year or the year before mainly. So I called myself, you know, me being homeless. I mean, I wanted to be supportive and part of, you know, that group or whatever. And I even wrote an ebook entitled it "Disabled, Homeless, and Invisible," because you know how, you know, we get ignored and stuff like that. So I mean, I don't know if he seems like as if he handpicks which homeless people he wants to be supportive of, or I don't know, you know. So he'll be quick to respond if people, I don't know if it's true or false, but I'm gonna say that they falsely accuse or falsely assume that you know, if they falsely assume that he's I've seen numerous people falsely assume that he's exploiting homeless people for money, and he'll be quick to get defensive about that. You know, so I mean, it seems like he just want to be tight-lipped or don't want to discuss. You know, I mean, I thought it was just difficult to contact him, you know, and try to bring it to his attention about, you know, the big real and true conspiracy about, you know, Freeman. Because he seems like as if he believes the mainstream media about a lot of different things, and certain things I can't say here. But but you know, well, I felt like since I have a job interview tomorrow, I felt like I didn't want to go to bed feeling anxiety or worried about it, you know, about this all night, you know. But it's like, if he wants our support and donations and thumbs up on videos, and he got over 1 million subscribers and stuff like that, and so travels a lot of places and interviews homeless people and gives them socks and stuff like that. And so you know, I call myself, you know, trying to be supportive of that organization and wanted to try to figure out what ways could I help, you know. And he even has, you know, where people can advocate or write to him and stuff like that. But I apologized to him, but I don't know if he didn't see that tweet of me trying to apologize. But, that was his second time ever responding to me. But they never responded to my emails. But, him or the organization, and I understand it, he probably gets thousands or probably millions of emails and probably postal mail too. But I said that I was disappointed in that he lost my support because I thought that he was deliberately, because like people deliberately, when you try to talk about targeted individuals and gang stalking, they intentionally trying to ignore it, or they don't, or they make like they don't want to get into it, or they don't want to discuss it, or they don't want to talk about it. But you know, so I said, well, you don't have to worry about me trying to contact you anymore. So some people were saying that, and I've seen the Lost in Phoenix guy. It happened to him too. That being accused of exploiting the homeless for financial gain and stuff like that. But honestly, I don't believe that they were trying to do that. And I thought that Mark Horvath said that he's a Christian or whatever. So I don't know. I'm feeling like disappointed, and so anyway, I guess that's all I have to say for that right now. But I mean, well, you acknowledge that I've told you several times, but I feel like the topic of targeted individuals forced into homelessness, and I mean, we're all trying to get our voices out there and get our voices heard. So the topic of targeted individuals and gang stalking and being forced into homelessness, suicide, jail, and all that, he might be interviewing some people, homeless people who are targeted individuals, and they may not even realize that they're targeted. But if they might wonder why did they live a decent life and then just wake up the next morning and forced to just give up their job, their home, and everything, and end up on the streets. I mean, he's even interviewed some people who had master's degrees and had living a high life, and then boom, homeless on the streets and stuff. And they may not even be aware about targeted individuals and gang stalking, and they might think that they're mentally ill when they're not. So I wanted to try to fight for and advocate for targeted individuals forced into homeless, well, targeted individuals and everything that we got to go through. So I don't know. I thought about even changing the topic of my ebook. I mean, because we targeted individuals are looked at as invisible, despite being stalked, followed, and harassed. We're looked at as invisible, even if we're not homeless. We try to get our voices heard, and they try to silence us and stuff like that. So yeah, I just didn't want to go to bed with this constantly running through my mind and stuff like that, all night. And when I know I need to be able to rest and get some sleep and be able to get up and try to go to the job interview tomorrow morning. So, I don't know. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if I should just take a break from the internet for a while. But I know the perps want me to disappear. But I don't know. But I still feel like, I feel like I know tomorrow I'll be getting perped heavy tomorrow. So, I'm going to go for now.